well, it's Kiana Lead and Khalid on this one. Jeff, R&B, like...
Absolutely.
Who's like your favorite R&B artist? Okay, one that's... No, actually, let's just stick to favorite because, there has to be one or two or three. Out of the five that you like, there has to be, one that definitely does it for you.
I think. Do I have a geographical limit? Do I
no, just anything
across the board?
Yeah, because you know what? Obviously, for us in Africa, R&B wasn't a thing for such a time. Right. Then it became a thing, and you find that we have the voice, we know how to make the music. So no geographical lock on this one. Just use your VPN.
There we go. I'm open network. I'm gonna go for my aunt, and every morning, her playlist was Whitney Houston. Her playlist was Mariah Carey.
Wow.
My aunt raised me on Heartbreak, and we thought it was a party. Wow. So all those songs like form part of like a soundtrack of my upbringing, like.
And earlier on, I was saying, R&B is so weird because it's all about love, but there's a lot of heartbreak.
When you actually like contend with some of the lyrics years after you were just singing along, like, this person was going through the most.
Yeah, and some of these songs, we started singing them when we were young, and you're like, okay, but what was I singing? What did I understand? And I guess as you grow older, you're like, oh, okay, you get to appreciate it more. Yeah. All right, now, talking your career, university, you're out there in Joburg, at Wits. Did you graduate? Because I know creatives,
No, we don't. I was just saying actually that I'm going to school next year to complete my final 6 months because I was only 6 months shy of graduating.
What distracted you? Because now Joburg, obviously you want to get into this film thing. There's a lot that's happening. Which project distracted you? Let's just be honest.
And I wish it was that. It was like a financial crunch time domestically. There was a lot of loss at home and a lot of instability at home at that time. And continuing with study at that time was just so difficult. Like I was forced to work.
Which year was this?
This was, I dropped out twice. So my record is very strong. I dropped out.
But at least you dropped out, you came back, and now you're also going back to complete. Yeah.
And I managed to be only left with 6 months because I was left with a year and a half, and then I did a full year, and then now I just have the other one to complete.
Oh, nice.
And it's just that thing of realizing that like I was pre the ebb of the Fees Must Fall movement, We missed that chance a little bit there, but like it does become, especially for students who are far from home, like managing the situation of living in another city, studying in that city, not having a bursary. Those things do mount up. Eventually.
I lived in PE. Being far from home is like, now you can imagine the distance, PE and Gabs. That's like, and sometimes you're going through the most and like, okay, you can't.
Who can I turn to?
You can't necessarily jump on a bus, go and come back later. So I understand, and obviously, I know in SA you have to to put up some money to pay for your bus, because I remember back in school, because we would have full bursary, and you'd be there at, back then it was called UPE. Guys are striking, and you're like, hey, let me just chill at home.
I'm covered.
It's not even, I think it's, then obviously after some time, some things, okay, maybe I should have just stood up as well, because the school is charging the government, and some things you look at the charges, you're like, what is this? Things like that. All right. Now, so it wasn't a project, it was just, life situations.
Yeah.
Then after you drop out, how soon do you find what would call your break? And your break in the sense, not being something that landed up on Netflix, but obviously getting your first project, film, TV-wise. What was it? When was it?
So I think I got very fortunate that while I was at school, I used to be like a little bit of like an impresario, like putting up shows and whatever. So like I got a neck for it. Like towards the end of my first year, I was part of a poetry collective, and we used to like travel to different cities, different parts of Johannesburg, different parts of Gauteng, sometimes even leaving the country, just doing poems. And towards the end of that first year, we were charging people for it. So nice. Like I developed the model, we developed a kind of audience base. So even while I was at school, I always knew that I had a side hustle. I always had like a little bit of income with the shows.
So it kept you going somehow.
That there, little did I know that would sustain me for about 3 to 4 years after leaving varsity.
Wow.
Like I just jumped into doing shows. And I realized that like, these shows were just usually for my fridge, you know, just like a little bit of extra or a little bit of travel or to go watch shows. But now that I was doing it full time, I was like, I'm getting a little bit more money than I think I should be getting. And the shows got better. And then we started charging more. People paid it still.
Wow.
So after leaving varsity for about 4 to 5 years, all I did to put food on the table was just produce shows. That's how I paid my rent. That's how I was helping out at home. It became like my lifestyle.
So these were like more poetry and drama?
Poetry shows, comedy shows, predominantly. Because, and it also from a model perspective, it was just like, I just need 5 guys on the lineup. I just need 2 actors. So it was very simple, very light. The majority of the work went into marketing it. So you market it for the whole month. And then when the month end comes, you've got about 150 people, each at that time paying about $100. You've got 15,000 Rand, and 15,000 Rand in 2009 for someone who's just out of varsity.
That was still a lot of money.
Yeah, that was a lot of money.
Now I'm sure it's like, okay, no.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But then and also at a time when you're realizing that, now I've got this 15,000 Rand, but I've got this T-shirts in the foyer, and people are buying these T-shirts.
Oh, yes.
And then because people that are coming here, like are either at HR or their business or whatever, they go, we need you for the year-end function. We need this. Then that's where the corporate work started coming in. And that's what made it sustainable.
All right, man. Actor, and now I'll add comedian because, this man is a comedian after all. Actor, comedian Jeff Tshabalala right here on Lounge 10. It's a special thing. I just say, we're talking Netflix situations and, he stars in the movie Big Nunu's Little Heist. We get to talk about that. We continue with the chart, checking out this week's number 5, which happens to have a South African artist on the song. I'll get to ask him if he knows this lady. Do keep it locked.
R&B.